Hi, thank you for being here today. This is Eva from Kraft N Crativity. Today we're going to learn how to make, or basically we're going to do the project about the front or the cover of the album. Putting this chipboard over here. Okay, so we're going to make it to look kind of like an old vintage. And we'll see how it looks. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do today is just use my Mementos powder clay color, and I'm going to distress this album. So I'm basically finished distressing or painting my album. Okay, so the next thing that we are gonna do is in our kit we have this, and this is a chipboard. Okay, so our next step, we are going to use this white gesso. Okay, we're going to add it to the chipboard. I have a little plastic over here with my gesso already, and I'm just going to apply a little bit because this basically I want it kind of like ivory, but now not ivory, not white. So I'm gonna mix some colors in here. All right, so this part I cut it, I don't know what happened, but we're gonna cover this part. So I already did in all of it. All right, so we finished with this and we're gonna let it dry. So now we are gonna use again the powder clay and we're gonna just slide, just use a little bit. So we want to make it like kind of like a fading. Some parts darker, some parts lighter. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look like. All right, so we are good now. So the next step that we are going to do, embossing powder. Okay, so this is almost ready. Okay, so our next step is we already basically did this. We painted, we used gesso. You don't have to use gesso. You can use any chalk paint. Also, because this is a chipboard, you can use the gesso or you can use acrylic paint. Now, if you're using acrylic paint because it's more liquid, you try to let it dry better, okay? The gesso is a little bit thicker, and basically the gesso is more like a primer paint, okay? So then after that, we did embossing. And this is how it came up, okay? So the next one is to make the cover. So we are going to glue this one to this one. I'm the person that always do the this part at the end, but today I wanted to show you how I do my covers. Okay, so we are going to glue it again. All right. So we're gonna spread these. We're gonna cut this on an angle, like that. We're gonna keep spreading the glue. Any glue that is be spreading, it will come out over here. So now we're going to use our core, and then we're going to glue it again. Well, we're going to glue this part. I'm gonna fold this one. Okay. So we need it. All right. So now the next part is to glue this one to this one together. Okay, so I glue everything. Now we're gonna over here in the back. So we are gonna glue into this cardstock that we just made. And so this is the way that we have it now. Okay. Looks nice. I like it. Okay, so basically right now we glue this one, the front, and the back for this one. We do the spine. We glue the one that's going to be on top of it. So we already glue all of them. Now the next thing that we're going to do is basically cut everything on the angle. So we're going to score like this. Fold it and glue it. Okay, so we almost finished here. So we have it right here. We had our second part right here. And so then after that, we are going to glue this one to here. Okay, so this one is going to go right here. So what we're doing right now is the front of the album. Okay, so we're going to try, because this is the paper that's going to be there. I don't want it to mix up the paper. So I'm going to press it from here. Now we're going to do it from here, and we're going to use one of our napkins just to make sure that we don't do anything to the paper. So I think it's good enough. And we're going to add this foil under, okay? So the measurement for this foil is probably 6.5 by 6.5. And we are going to glue it there. Okay, what I'm doing right now is gluing this one. And I'm trying to move it a little bit, right? Then after that, we're going to score this part. Now, I do it like 3 or 4 times because the foil paper is thicker. Now, remember, we need to, you see, we already did this. We can see it here, and that's what we want. We're going to diagonal cut, or I think I cut it too much in there. All right. So now we're going to add enough glue for here. Okay, so we are done gluing the foil. Now this is what we ended up getting. Okay. Now the next one is to glue this one to here. Okay, right there. Okay, now just to be safe, we're going to add these clips in here. Usually I don't like to add clips when I have foil, but you're not going to be able to see the foil right now. So we're going to keep it like that for a little while. This is the part that it's gonna go in the back. We can glue that one to here. Okay. And for this part, because we want to be able to glue nice and neat, we also gonna put these clips in here. Remember, we're gonna finish this album. It's gonna be in our YouTube channel. So what we're doing basically today is just do the first, the front and the back and the sides, and probably decorating. But the rest of it, we are gonna do that later in our YouTube channel. So this is gonna be like this. I was thinking to add these, I forgot the name of this, eyelets. I think that's the name of it. So we're gonna add this one right here, okay? So I have my tool here, and we're gonna just put it this one right here. There you go. And we are going to include it in there. It's a little tiny, little one. I don't want it something big. And because it's just a decoration. All right, so we are done with that. So now we're going to glue this one to this one in here. And for this one, it's better for you to stay for a long time or overnight. Our front part for the album. So this is going to be right here. We already glued the back. Now my next step is glue this one right here. So this is the first thing that I will glue. Now we are going to glue the front. Okay, and this is going to be like this. Now the best thing to do is let it dry, and we're going to add these clips right here. Okay, so now we're taking the clips out of where we put them. So this is how it looks now. Now it's our time to decorate it. Okay, it's time to finish to decorate the album. So we're going to need to use one chipboard. And we're going to use the one that say my happy place right here. We're going to use our distress. We're going to use these nice little flowers. Also, I'm not going to need this one. We are using for the whole album, and to decorate the front, we're going to use the ephemeras, 𝐂𝐴 Essentials. So we're going to start now. So I already checked and know what I want from here for the front part. And basically, we are going to be using our butterfly, because we know that we have an issue with this one. So I'm going to add this butterfly over here. This one is going to go right here. And we're going to put this chipboard right here. And we're going to add the flowers here in this part. But before we do anything, we're going to dye this, okay? For that one, to make it a little bit darker, we're going to use a little bit that, but we're going to use a little bit of the embossing, and we're going to use kind of like a black. We are going to need our 𝐂𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞. Okay, I decided to change this one So we're gonna move it, and I decide to use the one that says hello instead. I had over here, so we add the white. We're just gonna add a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, of the one that we use, the powder clay for this one. Okay, there you go. That's it. We need the embossing stamp pad. Now we need the embossing powder, and we're not gonna need a lot because we want just a touch. Oh, actually, look at a touch of the gold there. So now we are gonna dry. So we carry the embossing powder, we carry the gesso, we carry the pimentos, we carry the flowers, and we have everything on stock. So you can check in there, and they will be on the YouTube channel too. Okay. All right. So that's basically the way I want it. I don't want it completely gold. We are gonna glue this one to here, and that's gonna go right there. Okay. That's how we're gonna have it here. We're gonna add this one right here, but this one we're gonna add a little bit of foam. I have this foam that I like to cut all the time. It's 8 by 12. And that's gonna go right here. So then we're gonna add the halo right here. So basically, and we almost done, just to decorate. And this is gonna go right here. So this one has already an adhesive in the back, but just to be able to be safe, I'm gonna add a little bit more of glue. Right there. How do you like it? So it's really nice when you embellish your cards or your album. You have many ways to do that. Every person has their own way to do it, or techniques. All of it are good because everyone has different, and a lot of people really have a really beautiful techniques or ways to do it. So now we're going to add these flowers, and we are going to use my glue gun. Usually I use my glue gun for my flowers. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing in here. It's going to be right here. So we basically done decorating our first the cover for this album. So for the next, we are going to be decorating the inside, and so far we use we're going to be using the ephemeras to do the whole album. We're going to use some of the flowers that I have. You can look on the internet, but there will be a poster below too. We use our gesso. We use most of everyone has embossing pad. And I use a powdery clay, and we use this embossing powder, and we use another one too. Let me here is right there. We use the sparkle. For the next on YouTube, check for to work inside. Okay, and everything it will be posted and the YouTube. Thank you very much.